Yeah, this has been great.
Yep.
It's just so relaxing.
And then,
I almost forgot that the virus was here.
We were moving so fast that we weren't stopping. This is nature's way of stopping us, maybe, and think about where we're at.
Welcome to the Chinese Medicine Podcast with your host, Marie Hopkinson, Chinese medicine practitioner.
Hi, I'm Marie Hopkinson. Welcome back to the Chinese Medicine Podcast. And on today's episode, I'm going to be having a chat with Keith Archer, who's the owner and the founder of Chapels on Whatley in Maylands. And he's got a tea business, a massive wealth of knowledge about tea. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about health and how you can be healthy in this environment of this, crazy pandemic that we're in. And so I think this is an unprecedented time for lots of people. So hopefully this episode will help you just maybe relax with some tea. That's what we're going to be doing. Lots of people's businesses are closed right now. And I know, Keith, this is probably the first time that your business has been closed since you opened it, right?
Yeah, which is about 13 years ago. So this is the first time the doors have been shut for 3 consecutive days.
Yeah, wow. Because so Keith runs a cafe and a restaurant from
tea house.
Tea house. And also does a whole bunch of tea. You can see some of that behind us, but this is like an emporium of tea here, and there's also the website that you can go on and check out the tea on there. So let's talk about health in this climate, because we were having this chat before, and I thought it'd be good for us to film this. Lots of your customers have these kind of questions, right? Yeah,
well, I actually had a group of people in my tea house a couple of weeks ago, and it was the Secretary's Guild of Australia, and there was a whole group of them in here, and they wanted me to give them a little bit of a talk about tea. And I'd only just watched your podcast and as far as the health aspects of tea, and that's what they wanted me to talk about. Now, really, I'm not specialised in that as far as the herbs and the blends. We're a tea house that caters for traditional tea blends and some more exotic tea blends and different parts of the plant. So, that's what we specialise in. But amongst that, all of the things that they use to blend all have, health benefits and that are used in Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I'd watched your podcast, and the thing that got through to me, probably more than anything, and when I explained it to the group of people that I had, it sort of resonated with them. It made sense in the time that we're in. Preventative is better than cure. Yeah. Really. Because we don't have a cure.
Yeah. That's it. Cure would be better than cure.
Absolutely.
But we don't have one.
That's it. We're working on it, and the human race, we're an amazing species. We'll always come through. But where we are at the moment is like as you said, the stronger, and as Chinese medicine puts forward, you build the strength in your body. What you put into your mouth, and whether it be tea or the food you eat, the more nutritious, the more balanced your diet, the better you are. And that goes, and tea plays an important part of that. That's why tea, when you're in the Asian culture, it ties together with medicine. Tea and medicine work hand in hand.
Yeah, definitely.
So and that was an important aspect, and as I said, it resonated with the group that that's one thing you can do by drinking tea and different types of tea, and different types of tea will help you in different ways, and you'd be better to explain that than me. I can tell you about the tastes, but as far as the health goes, there's that many health benefits in tea, and that will build your immune system. That will keep you strong. That will, and it worked really well. They enjoyed it. They went away thinking, I've got to, eat better and drink better. It was great.
Yeah. And I think one of the problems we've got right now, I've seen a few people post about this, and I think this is really important, is a lot of people are at home, because a lot of viewers of this channel are actually in America, and they're in, a lot of those places are in complete lockdown now. Yeah. So we're filming this in Perth, and we're in the state. In Australia, it's state by state at the moment. Like our state isn't as bad as New South Wales and Victoria. But when you go into a situation where you're not going out of your house, and there's lots of people who are just choosing to stay home to be safe and to protect other people and the vulnerable, and that's really good if you can do that. You don't have to be part of the workforce. But if you're stuck in your house or you're staying in your house, you could just become a snackosaurus,
Yeah.
eating whatever's there.
Rubbish.
Yeah, and eating up all of your quarantine snacks and drinking, even people that, you know, maybe just get into the booze or get into, like, just, drink sugary drinks.
Yeah.
And so tea's a great alternative, and it's also a really cost-effective product to consume, right?
Yeah, and it's like the tradition of making the tea, sitting down, of consuming it. It's not only good for your body; it's relaxing.
Yeah.
Like that's why tea's best taken with friends. You can
Well,
Skype your friends and
around
drink
there.
tea together. And so that if you're sitting watching Netflix and leave the Chardonnay, try sitting down, drinking some jasmine tea, you're inhaling, so it's a relaxant. It will relax you. So, the whole thing about most people live with somebody, preparing the tea, chatting over the tea, then the health benefits of the tea, you can try, it's only one thing, but it is, there's a whole realm of reasons why tea in particular is beneficial.
Yeah, and so I think that's a really good point that you make, because we've come to this point in our society where we're so busy, and a lot of people have just been halted in their tracks, literally gone, right, I'm going to go home now, what do? I can't work, or they get their work done quicker because they're working from home, they don't have to travel and all that. And so we do have the time now to appreciate these things, to smell, to appreciate the smell of the food and making of the tea.
You got to look for the strawberries, I say.
Yeah.
This has slowed us down. This is a terrible, terrible situation that we're in, and there are vulnerable people out there. So the more you can isolate yourself, obviously, you're not only protecting you, but you're protecting other people. But it's a time to slow down, reflect, think of where we're at, and it's already popping up everywhere on bloody social media, in the news. It's like we were moving so fast that we weren't stopping. This is nature's way of stopping us, maybe, and think about where we're at. And everything, and the interesting point, Marie, is that you make is that everything's instant. You can buy instant tea, instant coffee, and that means you're not stopping.
Yeah.
Sometimes stopping, and this is only one, there's thousands, just stopping yourself, you've got to get the teapot, you've got to get the tea, just slowly, and it's winding yourself down rather than, in the past, instant coffee, you chuck it there and you're off and running, it's on the go, you hear it all the time, I'll drink it on the go. It's like, at some point you've got to stop, and we're stopped now, and this is a really good learning curve to be able to, try to make the best of the time that you have and be productive and reflect on where we've been and where we're going to go. And just remember, we are a resilient species, and there's been many different things that we've faced over the centuries, and we always come through. But what we need to do is stop and think.
Yeah. So I like that idea about the reflection and stopping and thinking on it. A good thing to do, and like pausing over the tea. What are some things that you encourage your customers to do in that tea preparation then, if they're to reflect and enjoy it?
Well, because there's many different types of tea. Like you can get the flower tea that comes in a ball. There's many, the health flower teas they call it. But there's nothing better than you drop it in. It's all hand rolled. It's a small ball. It's different flowers in it. There's nothing better than sitting, relaxing, watching it, unfold. It's meditative, really. It's like meditating and slowing yourself down, and then you enjoy the tea and the flavour. And there's nothing better than sitting with a book and drinking, because when you're watching TV, what you're doing is you're looking at a screen. There's not only the character but all the background, and when you're reading a book, it's all in your mind, and you're visualising it yourself. It's better than any movie that you could ever have. You have that, you drink tea, it sort of goes together. Whereas you're watching a movie, you got to be careful you don't drink at the wrong spot. You might miss something. It's like it's all about
enjoy their tea with a
calm.
And I think some people would love to know how they could brew their tea at home.
Yep.
What way they could probably just spend that little bit of extra time enjoying and reflecting and how to enjoy the tea. So maybe you could show.
Yeah, we can go on to do that. Sure,
awesome.
it'd be great.
Okay, so Wow, okay, so we're back and we've set up some different tea things so that we can try some different kinds of teas and show you how you can make your own tea, brew your own tea at home, and also enjoy. Keith's going to show us how you can practice the art of tea enjoyment with the extra time that you've got, and also to just, you know, get the most out of your tea, right, and enjoy it. So let's go.
So the important thing to remember, I'm sure everyone's seen that, you know, it's a bit of a gimmick, but you get a kettle and it's got oolong tea, green tea, so different temperatures for different types of tea, all valid. However, there are certain types of tea, green tea for example, like gunpowder. Now the reason why gunpowder is called gunpowder is because it looks like gunpowder, it's little balls.
Yep.
So that's actually dried down in a wok, so it's dried really a lot. So whereas then you'll get a Sencha tea, which is, you can see the shape of the leaf. It's dried by air and steamed, it depends on what they're doing with it, but it's just dried out. You still see the shape of the leaf. So what that tells you is that if something's dried down a lot, the hotter the water.
Okay.
Yeah?
Right, yep.
Because black tea has been fermented, dried down a lot, it's black. So the water should be hotter than a green tea. A white tea is the first shoot that comes out in spring, which is just the bud. So when you look at it, you can see the bud. So you look at it and you go, oh, I can see the bud. It's a white tea, it's expensive, and it's premium tea for lots of different reasons, but because of the taste, the flavour, and the health benefits of it. But you can see the so that needs only a mild temperature.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will like boil it and ruin the whole flavour of the teas.
Okay.
So yeah, the kettle works, but what will blow that out of the water is if you go green tea and you use a gunpowder, it will take you longer to brew it.
Okay.
So stick to those, except keep your eye on it, eye on the type. So what I thought I'd show you today is what we've got here is you've got a Sencha tea, which is a young leaf. Sencha tea is actually cut by machine. It takes the young leaves off the top.
Okay.
This is
while
actually
they're growing on the bush, right?
Yes, correct. And they use a machine that goes along and just takes the top off it. This one's actually grown in Australia.
Oh, wow.
This is from an Australian tea farm. We have one down the south of Western Australia. What they make is they make all Japanese style tea. So they make Sencha, and we blended a couple. So it's a fantastic tea. I was actually really impressed. Yeah. It's Southern Forest Tea Farm. It's a fantastic product.
Oh, wow.
The guy's been growing it for about 10 years. And yeah, I was really impressed with the product. But so that's just the top's taken off, and then it's air dried. So there's no wok drying or anything like that. So that's a Sencha tea. Then we have a Taiwanese style tea. They also, you know, they grow it in China and Taiwan now, of course. You know, you can argue, is Taiwan part of China? But let's not go there. But if you look at an oolong, which is an oolong tea. Now an oolong tea is dried down in woks, you know, a lot. So the temperature of this is hot. So the hot really just off boiling, so that you can infuse into the leaf and it'll open up, and that is a fully matured leaf. This is a young leaf off the top. This is a fully matured leaf that's picked up, that has been picked mid-season, and then it's dried down in a wok. The benefits of this are numerous, but the good thing about an oolong tea is it doesn't go bitter. So I can brew this all day and drink it all day and it won't go bitter. Where a green tea, a younger leaf, dried down, you'll probably 30 minutes you'll brew it, wait your three minutes, and then off you go. And then you got about half an hour to enjoy this tea until it starts to get tanniny and a bit bitter. Mind you, there are people that actually like that taste. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're a tea connoisseur, the flavour is at its height between 3 minutes and 20 minutes.
Right, okay.
So that's the best time to enjoy that tea. And then the other one I thought I'd show you is a herbal tea. Now again, if you're a tea connoisseur, it's not really tea. It's a herbal infusion. So this one has the lemongrass, ginger, aniseed.
It's this one here.
Yeah. Yep, that one there. So it's got the aniseed.
Blue cornflower petals.
Yeah.
In there. Yep.
So, you know, just a mixture of tea. It has numerous health benefits, but taste delicious. So I'm going to show the brewing time of all of these, and as I've mentioned, is all different. So this is your hot tea at the right temperature for green tea. I put that in, and it'll drop down. It's in the infuser there. We wait about 3 minutes. You can see that it'll start to infuse. The leaves will start to lift from the bottom.
Yeah, you can even see the little bubbles coming up through the infuser.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and you'll see them open out, and you'll see that's a young leaf. Then what we've got, this water is hotter when I put it on. This is an oolong tea. Now you'll see it will float a bit, it'll drop, and it will take a while for that to unfurl into a full leaf. Yep. So that's that. In this pot, the reason why I've got it ready is because I'm drinking it and it's delicious, is because with these type of teas, a bit like medicine, I think, Marie, you'll be able to tell me if I'm right or wrong. The hotter the water, the better. The longer the brew, the better. Because what is happening is that, your lemongrass, your ginger, your aniseed, your flowers, they don't go bitter. They will not throw a bitter taste. I'm only talking about flavour because that's what we're all about. The health benefits, it won't affect them at all, but it will be more pungent, more stronger, more flavoursome the longer the brew.
Yep.
So this you could just about boil and it's going to be delicious. Whereas if you did that to either of these tea, you would be in big trouble because you will ruin, it'll change the oxidization of the leaf. It'll bring out the bitterness, the tannin in it. It ruins the tea. Where with one of these, with an oolong. So therefore, I've already made it. This is my second pot of it. I've topped it up. I've made sure it's pretty hot, and I just keep drinking away. I could have that sitting in my home all through the day and just replace the candle and keep it hot all the way through. So
and it often gets more syrupy the longer you boil it,
Yeah.
the longer you keep brew it, because it's getting thicker and thicker. So you see the liquid get thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it depends on what your taste is like. Some people like it with that thin liquid.
Yeah. But the other thing, it's like you're drinking a different tea all the way through the day. It starts off a mild, and then it strengthens out, and then gets syrupy at the end. So therefore, it's like that's my dog, don't worry about that. It gets chestnut. So the flavours are throwing all different flavours, so you can enjoy it. It's like a different beverage all the way through the day.
Yeah.
So
I usually tell people with herbal teas, if it's got lots of sticks, and like this one's got lots of sticks and not many flowers, what you said is all good. But you can boil it for as long as you want. If it's got mostly flowers, like if you've just got chrysanthemum or lots of very fine
Delicate,
leaves or flowers, don't do what you're doing to the green teas.
Treat it like
and
this.
don't boil it, because it's much more an infusion rather than these are the first purpose of these was meant to be more boiling it, not infusing it. And so this is just infusing it.
Okay, so within that conversation, you can see now.
Wow.
On this one, so you can see. I can see the shape of the leaf. I can actually see where it's been cut off the tree, off the plant. And again,
you're right. They're very straight, aren't they?
Yeah.
And much smaller leaves than the oolong leaves.
And the amazing thing is that the aroma of this, being an Australian grown tea, I actually believe it throws. There's a bit of an Australian flavour in there.
Almost eucalyptusy, isn't it? That's what I associate with Australia.
Yeah, it's a brilliant
bushy
tea.
smell.
Yeah. And it's still the same plant. So even within different regions, tea will vary. Like I bought a particular type of tea from one region and sold it, and then people want it, so I've bought the same tea from a different region or a different set of mountains, because it grows up in the mountains, and people that have good taste buds, they go, this one tastes a little bit different to last year, and it says not every year is going to be exactly the same.
Absolutely.
Just like anything, I guess they have bumper years where all the temperature's right, the rain's right, the cloud coverage right to protect the leaves. You'll get one flavour, and then a drier year will throw another. You can get it off another. You can throw it you can take it even off the same plant, and it will still be different. It's a living thing. Yeah. So anyway, this is ready to go now. It's a fantastic golden colour. And it's a fantastic tea.
Wow, cheers.
So I encourage anyone,
It's just got that. It's a really nice aroma. It's not I don't know.
It's a beautiful tea.
It's so nice to smell. So what we were talking about before was sort of maybe people taking their time with the tea
Yep.
and appreciating these aromas. And I think that's the first thing that you want to do, rather than just drinking it.
Yeah.
And just like hoeing it down.
Can we cut it?
A customer wants to come in, we
Yeah,
close.
hold
Okay, so so we were talking before about how we want people to learn how to take a bit of time, use the tea to appreciate, to just relax if you're feeling stressed. And the scent is one of the first things, right, to appreciate in the tea before you've just hoed it down and kind of drunk it.
Yeah. But you're right. And not only that, when you bring it to your, inhale the flavour, that's part of it. Inhale the scent, smell it, and that's part of it. And then you take the liquid in, let it roll over your tongue, because at different parts of your tongue it throws different flavours in. Do it slowly. It's part of the, of having tea. It's slow, it's relaxed, it's soothing. It's just, try to calm your mind while you're doing it. It's what it's all about.
Yeah. Have you heard about mindfulness?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Because it's a massive buzz thing now. Like I hate those things that are buzz things.
Yeah.
Because I tend to get away from them. But it's a practice of bringing your attention to the present moment through something, and so you can use tea like that. I was just thinking that would be a good idea, like a tea mindfulness. Yeah. Because one of the ones I teach to my students a lot and my patients is just pick 5 things you can see, and with the mindfulness, and you just sort of pick these things, and you just notice what they are, and let them come and go, and you're not judging that or dwelling on that. And one of the things we talk about is scent, and it's really good if you're going for a walk. Go through a park or something like that, you can smell lots of things. But generally in everyday life, we pick up on scents we don't like, or there's just one dominant scent. But when you've got tea like this, every time you take a different cup of tea, there's going to be a different scent there, right? Yeah. So every time you lift the lid on the tea, you're going to smell. And so you can think, what do I smell there? Is it earth? Is it dirt? Is it
that's
leaves?
taken to the next level from what I thought mindfulness is. Yeah. But you're right. It's stopping. It's a bit like meditation, really, isn't it? Yeah. It's a form of meditation. I could go on with that, because there's so many things in our culture that actually relate back to meditation, as far as sitting back enjoying tea, for example, doing the rosary beads. All of these things are all tied back to stopping your mind, focusing on one thing, empty it out and relax. And it's a good thing to do. It's sort of, it takes the pressure away, and it stops, as I said, that everything's instant, everything's fast. You need to stop at some point and slow down and make a ritual of making. I sit down in front of I go and get my pod. I'll sit down with my book or my TV or whatever it is. Yep. So
it's just
going
that
on
ritual
from this
practice that you said, like what you said about letting it float over your mouth, right? Is that what?
So you let it run over your tongue, so that it covers all the areas of your tongue, so you can pick up all the flavours that it has. Because different parts of your tongue, wine tasting is exactly the same. They swirl it around your tongue to make sure you get the full flavour of it. No different. When you go and taste the tea that different farms have to offer, they do exactly the same thing wine do. They'll line it up. You walk and then you throw it out, and then you try the next one. It's the same principle, but when you're actually having it, that's why you've got Japanese tea ceremonies. You've got that all different. That's what it's all tied into. We'll move on to the oolong tea. At this point now, you can see, this is in full swing. You'll have about 20 to 30 minutes of great tea out of that one. You drink the whole, get a couple of pots out of it. That's the good thing about. One issue is our tea is all fresh. It's been either shipped in or grown. This is this season's. It was actually harvested just after Christmas.
Wow.
So we're drinking a tea that's fresh.
So 2 months old, right?
Yeah.
A month old.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fresh, that's come from WA. It's grown here.
Wow.
Use no herbicides or pesticides. This is you're getting all the flavours of that tea, of that plant. Same thing. This one we got in about 5 months ago, to be quite honest, because it was at the end of the season. Different they're up there, we're down here. This is an oolong tea. Now this is the one you can brew all day. The one I said the water should be hot. The reason being, when I put it in...
That aroma is just amazing.
It's great
like,
tea.
I haven't even smelled the lid. It's just like, wow.
Look, this is a young tea. It's verges on sweet, mild. It's earthy, a little bit earthy. Where this one here is more bold because it's a mature, like we do. We get more bold as we get older, I say. The same thing. It's a bolder taste. What I wanted to point out is each one of those little things that we had in there, you get a full mature leaf.
Yeah, right.
Where in this one, you'll be able to see that the leaves, they're a lot smaller and they're young. So it reflects in the flavour. An oolong tea to me is the perfect tea to drink through the day because one teaspoon of this. Because it's fresh, that's all you need. A flat teaspoon, a heaped teaspoon of green, a flat teaspoon of this will do this size pot, which is about 750 ml. And this one you just top up through the day. It's delicious.
Yeah, awesome.
So
oolong tea is my favourite tea, I would have to say. It's the winner for me. Probably
it's a lot more bold.
too
I
lazy
like
to
that
change
word.
it.
I like bold for oolong.
Wow, but the aroma is just...
Yeah. This one is called silk oolong. And the reason they call it silk oolong, because there's many. There's honey oolong, they infuse honey into it. There's ginseng oolong. There's jasmine oolong. But the reason they call this silk, because it's very smooth, like silk, over your tongue. When you drink it, it's a very smooth, silky tea. It has a little bit of a caramelly twist to it.
And what you can do before you swallow it down is just hold it in your mouth a little bit, and then you really can get that aroma, because your smell is related to your taste as well.
Yeah.
So when it's just like the same way you do wine or whiskey, and you just hold it in your mouth, and then, like you said, let it water fall over your tongue, and it kind of you just pick up those different aromas.
The smell that you smell first, that ignites your taste buds you know what I mean? That's how I see it. Like it's like, oh look, wait, get ready, this thing's coming. This amazing taste is coming, unless it's not amazing, and then.
But the other thing with tea that I love, like it's very much different to this one and the herbal blends. It's just such a clean liquid to drink. It's you don't have like it's. I love coffee. I'm sure lots of people love coffee, but it's a thicker liquid. It's a thicker, strong, like in, you could have 1 or 2 coffees a day maybe, but you're not going to have 10 coffees a day. Whereas with tea, you can almost replace your water for tea.
Yeah, I guess that's because like coffee comes from a bean.
Yeah.
Now in a bean, everything's concentrated. So the plant grows, it's all concentrated in that bean.
Yeah, right.
So you're getting a very strong flavour with lots of different things into it. It's a bit like the flour, all that stuff goes into that. Where tea, it's more clean because it's within the whole plant. You're getting a more to me, this is the way I see it, you're getting a more overall flavour of the plant. All it is the leaf and water. And it's good for you.
And the fresher it is, like it is the more yang that's in the properties. So that's something that's big in Chinese medicine. Like we think it's better to cook things or eat them warm, but not like old stuff that you've cooked.
Oh really?
So that you want to have things fresh. Cook it fresh, eat it fresh, right? And so the fresher it is, the more yang, because when you've picked it, as soon as you pick something, it starts dying. And that's the yang's going out of it. And so the fresher it is, the better it is for you. So that's great that so the younger tea leaves, that's why the what's that, white tea, that's the youth tea, right? Is got more yang in it because it's the bud of the growth that's about to spurt forward is all contained in that one thing.
Coming out of dormancy or slow growth in winter, this is the first one that the plant has been slowly producing that whole time. So the flavours are very gentle, but the potency of the antioxidants are like
super
double
high,
any other type of tea.
Yeah, this has been great. It's just so relaxing.
And then,
I almost forgot that the virus was here.
And then the other tea that you have, as I said, is
Yep.
the herbal tea, which we've been drinking
Yeah.
since we're doing this.
Yep.
Is the one, look, the longer the brew, the better. And so that's just a little bit information.
So you can see as that's been brewing, it's getting thicker and darker.
Yep.
And really how long you brew it or how long you keep it hot for is just your own personal taste.
Correct.
And what you like about how you like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even looking at
sometimes
these,
what I tell my customers about herbal tea, what they could do is if you brew it accidentally too strong, so let's say you go away and just leave it going and you come back and you're like, oh, that's too strong.
yeah,
Well, one thing you could do, firstly take it off this so you're not making it hotter and hotter, and then take this out so that it's not infusing anymore. Like it just and just set this aside because you can infuse this later, and then see what it tastes like. You could add a little bit of just hot water to this mixture, and that'll just dilute it down.
take it back to where it was.
Yeah, the
early
strength
on.
won't be so you're not wasting it. And then what you can do is once this is gone, you can then pour more hot water into the herbs. Yeah.
The interesting thing is when you look at these two types of tea, the oolong and the green, you can see the green is a younger golden colour, where it's a darker, rich gold colour, and it's a bit like with us, like we're all young and supple and gold, and then as we age, we just get a
more
little
and more
bit
golden.
tarnished.
I was going to say we get more golden.
Well, yeah, a deeper
Bit
gold.
more tardy.
Let's say a deeper gold. But yeah, you can see, and it's quite often looking at the liquids. That you've got the two parts of the plant at different times of growth. We'll throw those two different looks, which also equates to the flavours.
And that younger tea we were talking about before, the white tea.
Yep.
That's a very much even a more clearer
even
liquid,
more
isn't
clear.
it? It hardly looks yellow, right?
Yeah. It's just a very
almost watery.
white gold.
Yeah.
It's like a white gold.
White gold.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
So look, tea to me it's fascinating because all of this, we've got this one away, but all of these two types, it all comes from the same plant. There's nothing else added. It's just the different part of the plant that you use at the different time of the year, and then how you're going to dry it.
Yeah.
You know, you can use process if you like, but really all you're doing is drying it. There's no other things added into it. Sure, you can get green tea with flowers in it or ginger in it or whatever you like, but as far as the tea itself's concerned, it's the leaf from the Camellia sinensis, and that's it. It's just amazing to think that you can get out of that one plant so much.
All these things can grow.
You can get so much goodness out of one plant and so much flavour and enjoyment.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. Wow. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge
worries.
with people today. I'm sure that they found that useful and just relaxing. And I hope that you can enjoy your own tea at home. If you've got some tea and you haven't gotten into tea for a while, dig out your tea and get into it. You can find all these different amazing teas on the Chapel's
Chapel's on Whatley website.
Chapel's Fine Tea, is that
you
your
can
website?
go Chapel's Fine Tea website or Chapel's on Whatley.
Yeah.
So either place, it gives you all the information about it. We sell it online. We sell all the teapots and could we get all those made? We get them made in small factories ourselves. So yeah, there's a whole lot of teaware and the whole range of teas online.
Yeah, so if you're stuck at home and you're bored,
get online.
Get into tea.
Yeah.
It's such a healthy thing. And it's a healthy habit, like you can start now. There's some habits that you might have to start because of the being quarantined. Like I come in now, I'm washing my hands more, I'm scrubbing doorknobs down that I never was doing before in a more vigilant basis, wiping my steering wheel with disinfectant, all these kinds of things that we're having to do at this point, and you think, oh, there's all these new things we've got to do, but there's some of those things will just go away, we won't be doing those forever. And some of these new habits that you can start, these are habits that you can improve your health now and in the long term.
I'm glad you use that word because it's habit.
Yeah.
So we're at a time where we can reset our habits.
Yeah.
Our natural, what we do every day, our normal habits have totally been disrupted. So use this time constructively. Think about the new habits that you can do, whether it be you're going to start to jog or whether you're going to lift some weights or whether you're going to start Because once over this period of time, they will be normal habits.
Yeah, yeah.
So try to start normal
Yeah,
habits.
yeah.
Try not to start bad habits with Netflix and lollies.
Yeah.
Try to start healthy habits
Yeah.
so that you'll build your immune system and keep you healthy. And it's enjoyable.
It doesn't just help with your physical health. These healthy habits help with your mental health as well.
Yep.
And so people that have had their routines disrupted, like they feel discombobulated, like that, it's good to create these new habits that then you can not just do now but carry on into the future.
I love that word, discombobulated.
Discombobulated.
Oh, I love that.
I feel very discombobulated
I'm
right
going
now.
to use that. So yeah, it's about making the right changes now.
Yeah.
Staying calm.
Yep.
And think about your health. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
look for the strawberries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so thank you so much for sharing with our audience about tea and making tea part of your life and how to enjoy the tea. And hopefully you can take some time to relax and enjoy the tea. And if you are doing that, and put it in the comments what you're doing to how you enjoy your tea. You might have a particular tea that you love, or particular habits that you do with your tea. Maybe we talked about reading a book with tea or things like that. And so I hope you're doing well and doing the best that you can in the difficult time that we're all facing. And we'll see you again on the next episode.
Yeah.
Thanks very much,
Keep well.
Kate.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Chinese Medicine Podcast. Did you know we're also on TikTok? And you can find shorter videos on Facebook and Instagram that you might like to share with your friends and family. You can also find our podcast on Apple, Spotify, and all places where you listen to audio podcasts. I look forward to seeing you again on the next video soon.